Welcome to this interactive tutorial for Matlab. My name is Angela Rasmussen. I'm from the University of Utah in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. I'm going to be showing you the first assignment for the Matlab. First, we need to start Matlab. So to start Matlab, you're going to go to the Start menu under the Programs, Matlab. And there will be a Matlab with a version number after it. And you're going to start the Matlab. To do the first assignment, you're also going to want to download and open the computer assignment number 1. And I suggest putting these assignments side by side. So before you're going to do the computer assignment, I want you to become aware of a few things in the Matlab desktop. So there's this command window. This is going to be the location of where you're going to be typing in the commands. Over here is a workspace and command history window, and over here is a current folder. To change your current folder, you want to make sure you're in a folder that you have access to. You can click on this and it will bring up the Browse for Folder window, and then you can navigate to a place where you know for sure your files are located, or you'll be able to retrieve from them. So looking at the computer assignment number 1, it explains a little bit of an overview. This is just basically to get started. You need to launch the Matlab, so at this time pause this video and arrange the windows so they're next to each other. You can then highlight from the PDF file, go up and do copy, and then do edit paste. So diary, and then the highlight in green means that that is a comment. A comment is denoted by this %sign. So you're going to hit return. This starts a diary file, and as you see over here in your current directory, this file named diary has now been started. You can then again copy and paste the next comment, and also the next one, which is my name is, and then put in your name. And as you see, as I'm typing over here in the command history, each time I type a new line and hit return, it comes up in this command history. Okay, so now pause this and get as far as this by opening the computer assignment number 1, having your Matlab running, and you might also want to be putting the video in another smaller window such as this area here. Once you get that all working, then you can continue on with this. You're going to type help, or you can again copy and paste the line. At any time, feel free to pause the videos so that you may keep the same pace as these tutorial videos. And you'll see this long list of help commands come up. There are several ways to access the help. One is just to type the help command, but as you see here, there's a whole bunch of options. They may not know exactly what you're looking for, or may not be able to find. So another way to find the help is to use Shift F1, and a little window comes up. You can type in a command. So if you're trying to find the exponential, you can start typing it, and you'll see underneath here some of the functions that come up of what it starts with, or if it has it in the middle. and then some of the categories that you may want to find with it. If I click on that, it comes up here, and as I type, it will bring up the syntax of how to do that. If I need more help, I can again click on this more help. The other way to get help is this little question mark up here. The question mark here will bring up all of the Matlab options as far as help files. And in here you can then put in a suggested search. And if I was looking for the exponent, I can type that in, and then all of these exponent files come up. So they may not be exactly what you're looking for. So any of those options are ways to get help. To exit out of here, you just X the small window. Alright, the next thing in the assignment is to type this line. And as you see, when you type it in, the 2 plus and the 3 dots that have a space in between the plus and the dots turn blue, and now it's waiting. What this is a continuation onto a long line. If you've typed out a really long expression and you want to go to the next line and finish continuing it, this would be how you would do it. You would put dot dot dot, and now I can put in the rest of the expression. I'm going to do simply just something such as 2, and here it comes up that this would be 2 plus, this is a continuation, and it finishes it with 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. The next one to do is called this add path. This is useful when we get into actual scripts. I'm going to get an error here because I don't have the C:my work folder in my pathway at all. So if you add path and it doesn't have it, you are going to get an error. This is useful if you want to look for files within a specific location and you're typing in a script command. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is a matrix. A matrix syntax looks like this. So this is A is equal to, the first row is 1 and 2, and the semicolon starts a new row, and so it's 3 and 4 on the second row. So this would be how you would type a simple matrix. An array uses, instead of the brackets, it uses a parentheses. So B, and then this is the array location, which would be 2. So this is 1 and 2. Matlab starts its arrays at 1, and so that is equal to 4. So it puts in the array of B, the second location has a value of 4. Up here, as I'm typing, you can also see the values for the variables that I've used. So A, it shows the value of the matrix. Ants, which was when I didn't assign a variable to anything, it was 4. And B is now an array of 0 and 4. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is type in an array where we have, we're calling it So we're going to call an array of C. And what this does is the first one is where it starts, the 0. The middle is my increments, and the last is up to that value. So if I call C 0 to 13, I increment it by 4, so it will be 0, 4, 8, 12, and then it's reached 13, so it will stop creating that array. I can then also extract from that array into D. I can again copy and paste, but since I previously had already copied this in here, I can hit my up arrows to go back to the D. And so D is equal to C, 1 to 2, so the first is the 1 to the end of 2, and an increment of 1. What this does is it looks at the array from 1, and it goes 1, 2, and it increments it by 1. So that's going to copy the 0 and 4 and put it in the array of D. Note that the array always starts at 1 and not 0. What we're going to do next is this math expression here. You can look in your appendix for some elementary math. What this looks like is that we're going to use pi is a internal command in Matlab. So we're going to put that theta is equal to pi over 6. And note that this is going to put it in radians. So if you don't specify an angle, it does put everything in radians as the default. And then I'm going to type in the expression, or I can copy and paste it. And that gives me the value of 5.13. Another thing that's a simple thing that you want to just know is plot. And what plot does is it will plot the values in its array. So if I did 1, 5, 2, and 6, so it plotted 1, and then at 5 for the second one, at the third element was 2, and the fourth element was 6. So it plots those. Okay, now I finished this assignment, so now I'm going to complete it by typing this diary off, or again, copying and paste. Note that I'm using a remote desktop, and so that's why my copy and paste commands as far as shortcuts aren't working. But this will shut off the diary. Now this file here, you're going to email it to your TA to get credit for this assignment. And that completes the assignment for computer exercise 1.